I think Judy, like many of us, is someone who gets up every morning and goes to right a wrong, to make something that has gone terribly wrong better for her clients. I think that that is just what drives her. I think that is what keeps her passionate about the law, and I don't ever see that changing with Judy. When you think of someone's character, you don't think about their words, you think about their actions. And Judy is one of these people that is constantly helping others.
She cares about people, she cares about her clients, she cares about her community, she cares about her state.
She is not only knowledgeable, fierce, courageous, but she's generous.
I can honestly say I don't really know of any lawyer who is more generous with their time than Judy Kostura.
For me, I began my work in subrogation as a law professor. I would have questions and I would go to her because she was extremely knowledgeable, had done an incredible amount of research, and she was always quick to answer my inquiries.
There's probably only two people in the state bar who have created the template for an entire practice, and Judy's one of those people. The work she does on subrogation is time-consuming, it's difficult, it's thankless, but if we didn't have Judy and her paper that she does for CLE as a resource, we would just simply get run over by insurance companies.
A lot of people, when they first think of Judy Kostura as a lawyer, they think about her as a subrogation lawyer, because that's what she's become famous for, and I do mean famous. She speaks at every single CLE for the State Bar, TTLA, and UT on that subject because she is the authority. But that's just what she does in her spare time. Most people don't really know that Judy is an exceptional trial lawyer. She's a tenacious trial lawyer, and she cares passionately for her clients and has gotten amazing results.
My client was a 14-year-old boy who was in an accident caused by a drunk driver, and he ended up as a paraplegic. His medical bills were mounting into the millions of dollars, but unfortunately the drunk driver only had $100,000 in insurance. Dustin's health insurance company sued his parents and sued Dustin, saying that they deserved every penny of the drunk driver's insurance. There was a pending U.S. Supreme Court case that was going to come out any day that would affect Dustin's ability to collect. And without hesitating, as Judy had done for me so many times before, she said, okay, I'll help you with this. We had that conversation. I immediately picked up the phone, got it resolved, and within 24 hours of the settlement, Judy was right. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled as she predicted, and it would have been devastating. I am so grateful to Judy, and like many lawyers in the room, have benefited greatly from her wisdom.
She just has that inner sense of what's right. Literally 25 years ago, she was probably asked to speak on subrogation at some time, and that's kind of a thankless task. But once she did, she realized how many inequities there were within this area of the law, and it probably pissed her off. And she decided that she wanted to be the voice of reason. But then she went to the legislature along with Jay Harvey and Guy Choate and literally got the law changed to benefit Texas consumers when nobody thought that that was possible due to the political winds that were blowing.
In Judy's office, you'll see there's a framed of 3 flags, and 3 people got those 3 flags: Jay Harvey, Judy Kostura, and myself. The thing that's so great about that is if either one of those 3 people hadn't been involved, if we hadn't worked together, none of us would have gotten those flags, because none of us would have gotten that bill passed. And it wasn't just us 3, there were a lot of people that helped. TTLA got on board. We got people that had been historical enemies of our organization on board. Without Judy, it wouldn't have happened. Without Jay, it wouldn't have happened. Without me, I don't think it would have happened. For the 140 days of the session, someone was working on that every single day, and Judy was the intellectual underpinning of everything we did.
Getting that passed was probably the greatest consumer victory that we've had in the last 20 years in the legislature.
In the beginning of this year, I asked her for help in a case, and the turnaround is incredible. I mean, it's usually always within 48 hours, but usually 24 hours. I mean, I've asked her a simple question and she's given me a detailed response. And I did that on Texas law. I said, what does Texas say about this? And I just thought, she's not asking me to pay her, so that's why I got the flag for her. I said, this is something I can do for her that would honor her and show her the respect that she deserves for always being there and never once saying, can I send you a bill for this? And I submitted the flag request to Senator Thune's office. He's been in Congress a long time now, and asked that he fly a flag for Judy over the Capitol. And he did. And so he said that he did that promptly, and he sent me the certificate and the flag, and it's a big honking flag, I'll tell you.
I have always appreciated how Renaissance woman Judy is. Not only works hard for her clients, I know she not only cooks and takes care of her family, I know that she also is motivated by things beyond the practice of law.
She does a lot of work with her church. I know she's worked with missions in Russia. She probably speaks more at CLE presentations than any lawyer I know. In fact, I think if Judy doesn't speak at the seminar, you don't get CLE credit for the seminar.
She's extremely active in her church. She's active in feeding the hungry, and she is incredibly passionate about her family. Judy is one of the most balanced people I know.
Each year I send money to a missionary in India that has orphanages of children, and it's very poor conditions. And so I send out, in November of each year, I send out a request for people who want to contribute to this. And Judy has contributed, and she has a heart, and of the people on my list, I mean, I have over 1,000 lawyers, and there may be, maybe 30 at best that actually go to the trouble to write me a check and send it to me. And Judy has done that for me. And so that's one of the ways I know, where her heart is. I mean, she really feels for these, the people who have it a lot worse than we do in the United States.
This summer, my daughter was involved in a really serious wreck in Austin, and my wife and I were over 1,000 miles away in California. When my daughter called in tears, she said the police officer wasn't sure whose fault it was. So what did I do? I picked up the phone and called Judy. She said, where do I need to be and what do I need to do? Literally within minutes, she was at the scene. She was comforting my daughter, but she went the next mile. She started knocking on doors around the accident scene, and she found a witness to the crash that established that the crash was the fault of a Lyft driver that was pulling out while on their phone. So that tells all you want to know. She took care of my daughter first, and then she took care of the legal matter second, and did them both in wonderful fashion.
Her generosity of spirit is what makes her not just a good lawyer, but a great lawyer, whether it's to an individual client, to a community of lawyers, or to changing the law in the state of Texas. That's her superpower.
Judy's the best of us. We've got her in Austin. We've got her in our local bar. She's a jewel, and she's our jewel.
When you talk about achievements, it's easy to talk about the size of a judgment or the time you got your name in the paper or something like that. But I can tell you with Judy, it's the people she helps. You'll hear her talk about it, and not to brag, but just to make you understand how good she feels about some small thing she did for a client, or some sense of justice that she was able to leave with a client. When we can provide that, and Judy provides that every day to people, it's a job well done. And that's really Judy's legacy, and that's the best legacy you can have as a trial lawyer, is that you provided justice to people who had none.